Hello and welcome to See If It Sticks, the news at Sticks.
Hello.
Hello, this is the news at Sticks. This is our short form episode where we take some news from the week and we rap on it. A bit like the late Robin Williams. Politics, etc. That was quite a good Robin Williams impression.
That was all right.
It was a good impression of the Robin Williams impression that Family Guy did.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well. So here we are. Hopefully this week's will be slightly shorter and true to form than last week's.
Was a long one,
which was
it?
An epic, but very good.
It was like a three-parter, wasn't it?
Yeah.
So in that sort of vein, the thing I'm going to report on this week is a short thing. So something is 20 years old.
Dom's penis.
Was this 6 inches? So something is 20 years old. This is 20 years old.
Oh,
is it
for
really?
Fuck's sake.
I'm going to play in its entirety.
Must you?
That can't be 20 years old.
It's 20 years old.
I thought that only came out when I was at school because it was a ringtone.
It's 20 years ago, man.
No, because I'm
I'm
28.
Wait, let me read you the article.
Oh, okay, go on.
It is 20 years since the most irritating noise on the planet was created. This is from our good friends at the Metro.
Excellent. Well, at least I know that their facts are right.
It is now 20 years since the noise behind the crazy frog was invented. The noise.
Right.
Yes, 20 years. It was recorded by student Daniel Maldemal in 1997.
Wonder how rich he is now.
Maldemal!
Dan's, who was trying to make the sound of an internal combustion engine and failed miserably, I think.
They're fucking shit.
He uploaded it to his website. It was discovered by a Swedish TV channel when he was asked to perform it on air. But it wasn't for another 6 years that it really came to the front of people's minds.
Okay, that's all making sense now.
There we go. See, that's why.
Strong Metro reporting there.
Yes. In 2003, the noise was used by another Swedish student, Erik Bernquist, who animated using a little blue frog. He called it the annoying thing and put it online. Once the potential monetary value of the video and its now unmistakable sound became apparent, the name was changed to Crazy Frog and it was marketed throughout 2004.
Jesus. Did you ever...
God, it was turned into 2 video games.
Really?
And then obviously we all remember the remix by Axel F.
Yeah.
So yes, which I'm going to play you now.
Nah.
And speaking of little willies, he had a little willy, remember?
Yeah.
He had a little dangly willy.
What's going on?
Good God.
Ruined a perfectly good 80s tune.
I remember that. Ding,
And
ding.
that's enough of that.
Yeah, that's fun.
Ding, ding.
Did either of you ever have the Crazy Frog as a ringtone?
I did not.
No.
No.
We're
not those kind of guys.
I was not a trash human on the. But yeah, so that's 20 years old. Now it sort of made me feel a little bit old. But then, what I sort of
I can see what the question is going to be this week. What would you rather do than listen to that ever again? Pull my penis off for one, Dom.
No, that's not my question. My sort of question to you is, there were a lot of those sort of things in the early 2000s, and I was struggling trying to think of some, but I seem to remember there being a lot of stuff. Like, for instance, I was sort of thinking, because he featured in them a lot, ringtone adverts. You remember ringtone adverts?
Yeah, ringtone adverts. Well,
Yeah,
do you know what?
Polyphonic ones.
I was
Not just polyphonic ones, but for like music and stuff like that.
I was actually saying to someone the other day that you kind of don't see those ringtone adverts anymore, do you?
No, there's no point, I suppose,
No.
since we can sort of just
make your own.
But do you remember that those kind of like sort of phone adverts, like the cell phone adverts, where you could get like wallpapers and and things and graphics
Fucking
and like
wallpapers.
and text your name and your date of birth and we'll tell you your who you're gonna fall in love with and that sort of thing.
I could never believe that people actually spent money on that.
No, me neither.
Well, they must have done because
They must have, yeah.
But they were just there all the time, and then all of a sudden, I was thinking about it the other day, and I just haven't seen one.
No.
They must have immediately stopped making money.
Yeah.
one
But
day.
they must, I think they do still exist.
Do they? Text one.
No.
Text your name, love, and my name, and see what happens. See what our compatibility score is.
Do you remember AQA 63336 or something? It was the number.
What?
And you used to be able to ask it anything, and they would answer you. Basically, it was a guy sitting on Google, I think.
Yes.
You used to be able to ask them anything. And
yes, I remember that. There were a number of those actually.
Yeah.
And also, it was an odd time.
It was a strange time, wasn't it?
It was a time before phones became like mobile computers. So when all you had was texting, and then you obviously had your laptop at home or your desktop tower PC.
Yeah.
And when you were out and about, if you needed to answer a question, you text AQA, 50p a go.
Yeah, it's odd, isn't it? Now you think back on it, and now it's all coming back around with the release of the. That's another piece of news.
Yeah,
Nokia 3310.
2 stories. Nokia 3310 is making it back, but it doesn't really look like
They've kind of made it vaguely like a 3310 and a up-to-date mobile phone has.
It does have a month-long battery though. That is pretty impressive.
I wonder how month-long it will be.
Yeah, because my iPhone boasts a 36-hour battery or something like that, and I can assure you that that is not the case.
It is at least 5 minutes. Yeah, so I just wondered if there were any other annoying things. I remember there were spin-offs from the Crazy Frog as well. There were like animals that did annoying songs.
Yeah, they never really took off over day, bless them. They really tried to cash in on that.
It was really like
it was
European.
wretched.
It was wretched.
It was absolutely.
It was a terrible time to be alive.
It really was.
Just every advert break came on. I used to turn the channel over every time I saw it.
But people
can't stand it.
They did, and I don't get why they like that noise.
People loved it.
But the thing is, like, I don't. It's a strange kind of person, and that sort of thing I appeal to, because I remember being in places and hearing it going off, and people like getting their phone out of their pocket and like holding it up as if like. And like sort of like smirking at it like, ah!
Aren't I the funniest guy in the room?
I do have a story involving the Crazy Frog as it goes. The noise, not himself. I don't know him personally.
Don't make
Mr.
that,
Frog.
Don't make
so
that noise
it was
when
around
he
the time
climaxes.
I was in A-level psychology. And so that was 2005. So at sort of the ebbing of the Crazy Frog fever, I would say. And some kid in my class had you remember the little toys when you get as kids, when you turn them over and they make a mrrr noise? Yeah. And it was one of those, but when you turned it over, it went like that. And so I was sitting with Stu, friend of the show, and I grabbed it off this kid, and the teacher was like, oh, thank you, blah, 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 blah. And anyway, she went back on, and then I was sort of messing around with Stu, and she turned around and went, no. She got really angry, and then I forgot this thing was on the table, and I sort of went, what are you talking about, miss? And I hit it like that, and it went across the room, and as it was turning, obviously it fell on the floor, the whole room was silent, and then you just heard this, and she just looked at me and went, get out. And that was my only true interaction with the Crazy Frog, and it was accidental.
I remember at that time, someone, I've got an awful feeling it might have even been my mother or my dad, had one of those ones that when you got a text, you remember this going off all over the bloody place as well.
Just as you say that, just as you say when you get a text, realise I've forgotten to mute my computer. It
was that text tag that went, text. Oh, they started screaming and shouting, and every time it went off, I'm sure it was my dad now that I'm thinking about it, every time it went off, I would sit there just so embarrassed and be like, just get rid of that. You're bringing the intelligence of the room down, this crap. But
do you ever hear the ringtone? It's the wife. It's the wife. Have you had that one?
I've never heard that one.
No, I've had that on, like, builders have that and stuff.
Oh,
it's one of those.
Damn it.
I heard one the other week. They're still around.
Who the fuck has their phone on loud in the 21st century? What is the point? I never have my phone on loud.
It's not on loud now. My laptop is, but my
yes,
phone isn't.
I heard that.
I have my phone on loud because I work in quite a loud environment. So and I'm staring at the screen most of the time.
Most of the time, it's very, very bad if my phone goes off by accident. So I just have it on silent all
Yeah.
the time, just in case, just so that
It
when
was
I
like
walk
that
into a
before in
room,
my previous job.
yeah.
But now, if I don't have it on loud, I won't answer it because I won't see it or hear it. There you go.
Instant
There you go.
sacking if my phone went off. I think
Yeah, definitely.
never to work again.
I remember some of the first instances of those text and get ringtone sort of things, but it was like at my school because they hadn't started advertising it on TV. It was like just a bit of an urban legend, and there was just like people would say like when you didn't even have polyphonic ringtones.
Do you remember some Nokias you could make your own?
ringtone? Yeah, so I used to do that a lot, but sometimes what you could do is I remember it was at my grandma's once, and someone told me that you could text this number any song, and it will text you the ringtone back.
Oh, really?
And you could save the ringtone. And I remember thinking, this can't be any good. So I went through and got all the classics, obviously.
Bon Jovi, Living on a Prayer.
Sandstorm by Darude.
Oh, yeah.
The Simpsons theme tune.
Yeah.
I Got to Get Through This by Daniel Bedingfield.
Of course.
Like
beep,
staple,
beep, beep, beep.
staples of
Beep, beep,
the
beep.
monophonic Nokia
Yes.
ringtones.
Yes,
Yeah.
indeed.
And then I remember going to text someone, and for some reason I had run out of credit. It's because they were charging me £2 at a time.
Yeah, of course
And I
they
had
were.
no idea. I just didn't really think much of it at the time. I
Just thought it was
was
free.
my first experience with like a premium like text service, and ever since then I've never, apart from entering competitions occasionally on television or radio, I've never ever
the
used
occasional
one.
sex chat.
Yeah, well, yeah, but that's a phone
Who
call.
pays
mate.
for sex nowadays?
That's built in.
Yeah, and that's like they charge by the minute, and I don't make it to a minute.
I think it's rounded up.
Oh.
That's why I'm paying £2,000.
So donate to the See If It Sticks Patreon. It's going to be a tough month for me.
Keep Dan up to his neck in pornography.
Okay. Well, I think that's it.
Yeah.
I think we've said as much as we can say on it.
Yes, and by the way, just to let you know, I'm going to be extremely clear about this. I know you do your little scat at the end of the episode. If you do the crazy frog at the end of this episode, there will be no more episodes of this because I will.
You know he's going to go ring ding ding.
I will kill you and then burn the building to the ground.
Well, we'll have to see, won't we?
And I'll have video evidence from over the last few months of Ross telling everybody about his dodgy pony together wiring on some of the audio cabling, and I will blame it all on that electrical fire.
There we go. Right then, well, on that note, that horrifically aggressive note, you can listen to the full show, the full normal episode on a Thursday this week, and talk to us or find us then. You can find us at stickitpod.com. It has links to all the ways you can listen to us, all of our social media, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Instagram, Bebo, MySpace,
And also, if you tweet us at
and Friends Reunite.
if you tweet us at See If It Sticks, and you tweet us your name, love, and another person's name, we will send you a percentage of your moronity back.
I love it. Actually, could we do that? If you want to do that, you can do that. Remember, send us your problems, any news stories you might do, things that might have already stuck, that we've already solved, but have someone solved better. Generally, that does happen. Right then, for the news that sticks this week, I've been Dom.
I've been Ross.
And I've been Dan.
Yeah!